Yeah, I don't know if this is working. There, it's working. We are live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel, as well as Slam Jam YouTube channel. So, smash the subscribe button wherever you're watching. Now, this has been an unbelievable week in the world of professional wrestling. The immortal Hulk Hogan passed away. Was it like a week ago today? So, like. Yeah, like we'd had a show on the Wednesday last week, so before obviously, that happened, and so the wrestling world has been going crazy with it. There's been all kinds of reports. There's been tributes. I think it's the first time I've ever seen a wrestler get multiple 10-bell salutes on a show.
Right. Yeah, I know they did on SmackDown and then the Raw. Did they do it on the NXT as well?
And then they did it on NXT as well. And there's some speculation that they'll do it for SummerSlam as well. I don't want to let the elephant in the room is that Hulk Hogan had some controversy around him. Is needless to say. I want personally, from my own perspective, everyone else will say what they will. I want to keep things as respectful as possible. Obviously, someone passed away, and I think he's probably someone that everyone grew up watching, and he's Hulk Hogan, so it makes as much sense as if they were going to do multiple tributes like that for anyone. It doesn't ring untrue. I'm trying to think actually. Was it that when Eddie Guerrero died, didn't they record a super show? So they did a Raw and a SmackDown on the same day.
I think you might be right, and I think he would be the most recent example of somebody who
got more.
The grief for his passing sort of stretched over
multiple shows,
2 full episodes, and then it was Ray's whole world title run. It's still informing stuff now. If you look at Dom's little
absolutely
he has. So this is whatever your thoughts, and I'm someone who thinks that you can hold many different thoughts at the same time and many mixed feelings at a time like this.
Yeah, of course.
It's not the time to repeat the things that he was recorded saying. It's a time, in my view, to recognize that the character of Hulk Hogan is part of the foundation of what we're watching now.
Yeah,
like it or not. And I think that I to their credit, WWE have towed that line. When you consider that the last time Hogan was on their stage, he was booed out of the building. They have handled the tribute element of what they've been doing, I think, with about as much class as they can.
Absolutely. Like this, with the controversy side of it, it was always going to be a very difficult thing.
Right.
This, truthfully, if you cast your mind back to when Owen Hart passed away, and there was the big debate over should they continue the show or shouldn't have they continued the show.
Right.
This has the similar vibe of there will always be people who fall on different sides of the fence of in what way do they recognize or not recognize him. But
yes, and I think that's the difficult thing about when there is a loss, particularly of this size, but of any size really, is that there is by definition there is a void there. So those people who booed him on the Netflix debut were venting real anger that they had every right to feel, and now they don't have anywhere to focus that anger, and they might be left with these really mixed feelings. And as you've mentioned, people grew up as a child watching him. And that is hard. That is really hard to feel the true passing of time like that.
It's an interesting thing just in wrestling in general, just because one of the other news stories that we can touch upon here is it came out a couple of days ago that Vince McMahon was in a car accident on the same day that Hogan had passed away. And when you talk about the two biggest people responsible for the explosion of wrestling in the 80s, who have both become like controversial in different ways. You know, that just that could, that, you know, McMahon walked away unscathed, but it's sounding, it's just crazy to have like the thought cross your mind that Hulk Hogan did pass away. Vince had a narrow escape, and it's, by the sounds of it, luckily that no one at all was injured in it.
No, indeed, and you've hit the nail on the head in terms of those are the two, aren't they? They are like Hogan. His passing will only be matched magnitude-wise by Vince's when that happens.
Yeah,
I think even if you're talking, hopefully, many years from now with Austin and Rock, I would consider even them a next tier down in terms of breaking the mainstream news cycle. You know, you had like Channel 4 News reporting that Hulk Hogan had passed away, and like they didn't seem to know who he was at all, and I don't even remember what it was they called. Did they call it the World Wrestling Foundation or something?
It wouldn't surprise. One of the things growing up watching wrestling that no one could ever get the name of WWE correct. It'd always be the WWWF and Wild Wildlife and stuff like this. They could never get it right. Hello, Gav. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Now we are live. I'm going to have to be a little bit of a short show, starting later than usual, just because I'm in between a couple of things here. Gav, like we've started off. You know, the biggest. We had a show last Wednesday. The biggest thing, obviously, since then, Hulk Hogan passed away. You know, we were just saying that there's controversy around him. Obviously, WWE did 3 tributes, which we're saying that they've never done that before, perhaps except for when they recorded both Eddie tributes on the same day that Eddie passed away. But yeah, it's we were saying also that with the news that Vince McMahon was in a horrific car accident but walked away unscathed. Vince McMahon is someone else that has this huge controversy around him, and all of what set wrestling huge in the 80s. You know, it's horrible to even just put it in this times, but almost was wiped out in a single day, which is just a crazy thing. But does anyone have any particular thoughts they want to share? Because we also have SummerSlam coming up, which we can talk about, which will be hopefully a lot lighter in tone than covering some of the sadness, or, you know, whether there's upset or disappointment or whatever the feelings are that people have around any of the controversies. You know, it's still someone that we all watched, and it's hard to process that, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't know whether he was there going to talk here.
Well, I'm conscious that Dave and I have been chatting for a few minutes, so I don't know if I was going to defer to you.
Okay. Hogan. I think it was his, like the guy that wrote the song Real American. He died
that's very recently, didn't he?
Yeah. So that's a bit sad. It was just like the whole of Hulkamania wiped out, and
there was something about his clone fan that was always in the audience.
Yes.
He died 3 days before as well. But
yeah.
Hogan got me into wrestling, and big time. I was a Hulkamaniac, and I followed him throughout, and I was a big fan of his. But I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you know what? And that's a way which, you know, I've always said, it's just like, it's. Do you know what? Like, there's that quote from like The Dark Knight or whatever, where it's like, you like die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And unfortunately, with a fair few people within the world of professional wrestling, personal lives and stuff show you behind the magic, which is so interesting that there's now WWE Unreal on Netflix, which is absolutely showing the behind the scenes, and sometimes the behind scenes lives of people, they don't meet your expectations of the public facing thing.
But the thing we got to remember, at the end of the day, they're human, and they're going to make mistakes. And I think we probably put like celebrities on a pedestal, and that's probably our fault, kind of thing. So
I think there's something as well with the the magnitude of celebrity makes mistakes. I don't want to say bigger than they are, because what he said and how he behaved was I don't even need to say it's on record.
Yeah, we all know.
But the magnitude of his star power sort of increases then the repercussions that are felt from that transgression. And I think the only thing I think you said the word disappointed there, David. I think the only disappointment I feel is that, because for my own personal story, I wasn't a Hulkamaniac. I actually got into wrestling sort of 98, 99. So, and very much through the lens of WWF.
Ian, can I just ask, how old are you?
Old enough.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm 30,
what,
I'm 39 nearly.
39. Okay, okay.
So I actually
late bloomer in the world of wrestling.
I was a late arriver into that world.
Okay.
Through tape trading. It wasn't something I had access to on TV. It was a brother's friend who, I think he lent us No Mercy 98 or 99, and it was like, what on earth is this? But that means that I missed the prime of Hulkamania and wasn't exposed to WCW to sort of be part of the NWO. So Hogan always, to me, was this old guy. Like from even just from purely a wrestling fan point of view, I was like, who's this old guy? And obviously I had heard the name and I'd looked up the history and whatever. Mania 18 with The Rock was an eye opener. Really from my fandom, like, wow, this guy is huge. But because I didn't have that fandom for him as a wrestler, my biggest defining perception of him is of, unfortunately, the man after that.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
So I can say that I haven't felt like I'm sad for particularly Brooke, who seems to have been through a hideous time in that family over recent years.
Just when you look at the whole Hogan family, because if you perhaps saw after that, do you remember he had do you know what, it's so weird that there was the Osbournes and Ozzy Osbourne just passed away. Yeah. And then kind of the next thing that kind of followed that model was Hogan Knows Best.
Yeah.
And when you look at, obviously, Brooke eventually got involved, and wasn't she married to Bully Ray in TNA? Or am I mad?
That's right. That's right.
Like completely making that up. They did some angle there. But obviously, him and Linda split up. His son Nick, who was on Raw this week, was in a car accident, and I think someone passed away there. That's right. You know, lots of stories and stuff. And then when you say about Brooke, did you hear that apparently she wasn't invited to be at the tribute, which is just like, Nick Hogan was on Raw, stood center stage next to Eric Bischoff, etc. And then Brooke Hogan has put out something on Instagram saying, for everyone giving me a hard time, I wasn't invited. So yeah,
I think there's been like even before his passing, there was this mammoth estrangement there, wasn't there, from both Hulk and Linda, and she's, I think, cut herself out of the will, and it's she is sort of one person I really feel for, with, because she's got to have all sorts of crazy mixed feelings. And I think I guess I offer condolences to the family and to those fans who are really struggling, whether that be with pure fandom, like my hero's gone, or like yourself, Gav, have articulated that you've had some mixed feelings about it as well. And I guess I just want to say that that's okay. Like, there's people who are feeling pure grief, people who are feeling mixed grief, people who are feeling not much grief at all, and all of those are okay. I don't condone people who are like dancing on his grave, basically. Whatever you thought of the man, I think there's a certain way of behaving, which I don't like that, and I don't like the idea of people saying you're not allowed to put a little disclaimer on your grief. You're not allowed to have mixed feelings. I think that's crap.
Everyone's got their own personal thing with it, so you're allowed to be. You're an individual. You're allowed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we move on to SummerSlam, just because again, I do want us to get onto SummerSlam. I do want us to talk about the fun side of professional wrestling and all of this as well. But before we just completely, well, not that we have to move completely, but before we move on from the topic of Hulk Hogan, do we have like a positive memory if it was like a particular match? Obviously, we've mentioned Rock versus Hogan was the craziest crowd. The crowd made that match. Like Hogan and Rock obviously made that match. And I think my favorite story about that match is they got in the ring and they were like, we need to swap roles.
Yeah.
And they called it on the fly, which is a great story.
Very
But
good.
other than that, is there a particular like thing that anyone looks back on, a particular Hogan memory in? Go on, Gav.
Like one of mine is like when he returned in 2002.
Yeah.
You know, the crowd always goes, "What? What?
Yeah.
What?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "What you gonna do?"
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's genius.
See, I can say when I was like really young, one of the first wrestling tapes I got was just like they did like two. That you know how you get like the best of the British Bulldog, the best of Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Like the first person to get like two tapes was Hulk Hogan, obviously. But they'd got him versus the Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 6.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I saw that match because I didn't have the cassette of WrestleMania 6. It was before I started watching. And when I watched that, I was like, this is the greatest match of all time. Which when you watch it back, like, it's not bad, it's not the greatest match of all time. No. But to me, because that was probably the first babyface versus babyface match I ever saw.
I think that was the first babyface in WWE.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think it was.
Wow. But yeah, so I don't know, like there's so much. There was that piece of trivia that I think we put in a group chat a couple of days ago saying that there's 3 people from the first 10 WrestleMania main events that are still alive.
Yeah.
That's just insane to think about.
3?
It was Sergeant Slaughter, Bret Hart, and someone else.
Trying to think. DiBiase.
And DiBiase. And do you know what? If you extend that to WrestleMania 11, you can add Lawrence Taylor because Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam finished it.
Yeah, true.
You know, and there's another one gone, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but,
true.
I've said this on the show in the past. When you look back at the old WrestleManias and the old SummerSlams, the first few pay-per-views, you can kind of count on like 10 fingers, like how many people are still alive on each one. Yeah. It's, you know, there's a huge amount of sadness that unfortunately goes with being a legacy wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Just that like so many of people have passed away and stuff. But any other thoughts or I think we can.
I would like to just end it from my point of view because I know I got a little bit heavier than I perhaps intended to. What I actually always found really endearing about Hogan, and it seemed to boil the blood of some other people, but I always loved it. His lies, man, the lies he told about like flying back and forth to Japan, so he worked 400 dates in a year, brother. And like he wrestled Andre, and no one had ever slammed Andre before, and then he was dead the next day. Like,
and he was 800 pounds.
That was just absolute rubbish.
Yeah,
I just enjoyed, I guess, the nonsense.
See, you know, obviously Hulk Hogan's passed away now, but we never got that Hulk Hogan podcast that I know of. Like he was a guest on things, but like how like there's the Jim Ross podcast or whatever, Conrad, whatever. There was never just like week on week Hogan's lies or Hogan. Mm-hmm. Like I think he believed it in the end as well. Like I just don't think he knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he never struck me as someone that was like a student, like a historian of wrestling. And I think he turned up, he did his bit, and he didn't really know too much else. And I'm not trying to just say it disrespectfully, because in a sense, something we could enjoy was that what's Hogan come out with now kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, he didn't need to. He was the top of the class for so long, you know. So everyone had to work up to him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's come to SummerSlam, which is the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. It's going to be this weekend. It's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be quite as grand as WrestleMania. I think they need to. It probably won't be as long. There's 6 matches each night from what I've got listed here. So let's rattle through some of these. And night 1, if these are all of the correct matches for each night, we have Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, and if Kross wins, Zayn has to say the words Kross was right. If Zayn wins, Kross must say I was wrong about Zayn.
I would say this.
This is the worst stipulation I've ever heard from
I was
Matt.
going to say, if you check every match on there, I think there's a stipulation on everything, or gimmick.
Well, it seems to me like the way they've split the nights is, I mean, if we're going to call that a stipulation for Kross and Zayn, then fine. But like all the matches on night 1, as far as I can see here, are like straight up normal matches, if you like. And then night 2, no DQ, street fight, TLC match, street fight. Like,
and night 2 is all championship matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I for one, I'm excited about SummerSlam generally. I think it's on paper. I don't think the build's been as good because they've been counter programming for so long that they haven't had time to have the length of build. But I think the card on paper is better than Mania. Maybe it's up there for me. Like
Mania this year was just interesting. Like Mania, if the matches weren't on Mania, it wouldn't have felt like it wouldn't have felt like, oh wow, this, you know, like how sometimes there'll be a pay-per-view and it'll be like, wow, this feels like another WrestleMania. WrestleMania didn't quite feel like that this year itself. But I think Karrion Kross is going to win. He has to win because otherwise, like, this is his second pay-per-view match in like 4 years. If he doesn't win here, and the rumors obviously is that Sami may win the Royal Rumble and stuff like this in Saudi next year. So Sami will go upwards and upwards. But
he's always been able to lose and be built, hasn't he? I don't know, like Karrion Kross, man. I've really tried.
I can't stand Karrion.
Engage with it, but like I've written one note about Kross here because, like, I've just got. I'll read it verbatim. He's like a yeetless Jey Uso and a yearless LA Knight, because I would say that those 3 are more limited in the ring than others. I think that's fairly not non-controversial of me to say, but LA Knight's got the thing, which gets the crowd during his matches to rise with him, and Jey Uso's got the yeet, which is the biggest thing since what? Or yes. But Kross has this popularity and his promos get all this like buzz, but in the ring, there's nothing. There's just it's boring.
I don't like him in promos and that. Like, he's been more interesting a little bit recently, but I've said this time and again, he does a good Jesse Ventura impression, but that's me done on him. There.
I've actually taken to him.
Okay.
Beforehand, I think you remember I didn't really dig him at all. I didn't get him. But yeah, he's grown on me a lot.
Well, to be fair, they have featured him a little bit more recently.
Right.
Because there's been this movement of people saying like, oh, like you need to feature him, and it does go to show that, you know, if you give someone actual screen time, then they might be able to do something with it.
Yeah, exactly.
The character I like, but the wrestler in between the ropes is just not connecting for me, you know.
Okay,
but,
next up, we have Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed versus Roman and Jey Uso. So a watered down bloodline, or just 2 of them, I guess. But so bloodline versus Bron.
For me, it's a whatever match. It's just to get Roman on the card.
Yeah. Well, it's because so this is where they're trying to do more because it's this 2-night SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So they are bringing out Roman here, but
it's going to be a Roman Jey win, obviously.
It feels like Roman Jey wins, yeah.
But I think sorry, go ahead.
Especially after Raw on Monday.
They They got he's got his trainers now. Like,
Yeah.
trainers on a pole match. Can we have that?
Have you seen where people have been comparing it to when Jean-Pierre Lafitte stole Bret Hart's jacket?
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. There's. Well, at least it isn't a stipulation. I hope Roman comes out barefoot.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got one pair of sneakers. That's it.
By all accounts, like Bronson Reed, like backstage is a big sneaker collector. So part of me likes to think that was him just like, I'm going to go into business for myself here. Like, what's he going to do? He's got to be selling. I'm going to have his shoes. Thank you very much.
Is he Australian?
Yeah.
I was expecting him to do a shoey.
Yes.
What's a shoey? I'm not familiar with that.
You don't.
Pour the beer in the shoe.
Pour the beer in, drink the beer out of the shoe. Yeah. There's a UFC.
I don't drink, so that one's missed on me. Right. Okay, so next up we have Judgment Day versus Charlotte. Well, Raquel and Roxanne versus Charlotte and Alexa Tag Team Championship.
I think I really like what they're doing with Judgment Day, having all the gold.
Yeah.
So I think there's like more juice in that fruit. However, Charlotte Flair and Alexa are on this rise in tide.
Yeah.
And like what seems to be apparent is that behind the character, who has never translated really well as a babyface, Charlotte Flair really wants to be a bit like earnestly. So there's something in her. She wants to be a babyface. And that match they had, was it at Evolution? Yeah. They had the match. Yeah. She was like the biggest babyface in the company. Like that was like the hottest hot tag in that match. You know,
it's because like the thing is she's connecting with it now, and the thing is she's actually having fun. It's like we're actually getting to see real Ashley.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. She has reached the point where she can just have fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know, that's such a good observation there, Gav, because I think with some of these wrestlers that are second or third generation, there's a chip on their shoulder. They've got to prove it. There was a certain point, if I think about it, we could pin it down, where you could just see that Randy Orton was just like, I'm just having fun now.
Right.
And it's and do you know what? Not that he's bloodline, but when Roman started having fun, like because they used to boo the heck out of Roman.
Yeah.
And it's like when he started having fun, then he truly got over.
That's where you find yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's a really good observation.
Like, describing it as a weight off, I think you're absolutely right. They did a backstage segment, Charlotte and Alexa, where she got them the tag title match, and it was the way she said, like, I'm still Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, exactly.
And like 3 weeks ago, booed out of the saying that, and I was just like, all right. You know, there's something in this tag team, and I think the plan originally, I believe, was for them to split quite quickly and maybe even have a match one-on-one at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I hope they run this for the next 3 months because there's something there. So I think,
as the kids say,
maybe they've got to switch the belts.
As the kids say, let it cook.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, see, and the cool thing is if they found something there, then they might go with it. Like, because it even feels like a few weeks ago I was saying that, well, Liv was the tag team champion. She got injured. If they lose the belts before they can continue that. But to be honest, it might just be that that moment has kind of passed, and they'll probably bring her back as a single anyway. You know?
Yeah, I hope that the Judgment Day side of the story doesn't sort of wither and fade if they are going to switch to Charlotte and Alexa. I just hope they can keep them, because I'm really enjoying the Judgment Day at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, rattling onwards, guys. Just towards the match of the whole SummerSlam that I think we're all looking forward to. Jelly Roll, and you knew I was going to say that, right? Jelly Roll and Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
But is Drew going to make it?
Yeah. What was the situation?
Have you seen the most recent video?
No.
Yeah. So he did a video like 2 or 3 days ago in the field, seeming to cut a promo on some cows, because there was some passport issue.
That's right.
And so he did another promo. I think it just came out today on his Twitter, where he was in a room just talking about, everyone's talking, and the Miz is saying that he's gonna be in the match and he can get the hell out, and then the camera just pans over and he stood there with Logan Paul. So he is back now, and the story they're telling, which I think is ridiculous but fits the shape of the match, is that Jelly Roll knew some people that managed to get Drew detained, but Logan Paul knows better people, and so he sent the private jet and brought me home. So
that's crazy.
It is going ahead.
Because they established that Drew was in with The Rock when Drew got a new contract. The Rock came and gave it to him or sent it to him personally and stuff like that.
A sword or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, good for them for trying to make it a thing. But I saw that first video where he was it's and my wife left me to go back because we've got sick animals at home or something. And he was just he couldn't believe that his wife left him there, sort of thing. But yeah, so I'm glad, because I don't know who they would have replaced in that, but obviously, as much as I've praised Logan Paul's ability in the ring based on how little he's ever actually wrestled, if you've then got another non-wrestler, and even if you've got Randy Orton in there, it's Jesus, who could you put in there? You need Drew McIntyre in there and Orton in there to carry it. Logan will do some big flying thing, but
I wouldn't have liked it, but the Miz literally was the safest choice in the event that Drew wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like the Jelly Roll stuff, and I'm normally not very high on the celeb involvement stuff, but something about him, he seems really into it. There seems to be a genuine fan there that's just having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And when I compare it to the Travis Scott stuff, which I guess would be the most recent celeb stuff that we've been subjected to, it couldn't be further from that, And I think it's in the right place on the card. That we were talking about Hogan, main event of, was it the first WrestleMania that he teamed with Mr. T? So like it or not, celebrity involvement is
okay, but look at Mr. T, and look at, I'm not trying to shame, because I think he's lost a lot of weight, but look at Jelly Roll, and then look at Mr. T. It's Mr. T looked like a wrestler, right? But then, but didn't they have Drew Carey in a Royal Rumble once?
Yeah.
They've done a lot. Who was that?
Pete Rose, isn't he a baseball guy that used to come out and get?
That was one of my favorite running WrestleMania storylines.
Yeah, exactly.
Just waiting for Pete Rose again. I don't even know who Pete Rose is beyond the fact that he's a baseball guy who hates Kane.
Yeah. But there's a whole generation of British people for whom Pete Rose is just the guy that gets beaten up by Kane.
Exactly.
That's all he is.
I would like to see Jelly Roll surprise us. Mm-hmm. I don't know that, even having him in there with Drew and Logan Paul. Logan's going to do all of his flying stuff, and it's just is he going to be able to get the shine on? He's a big guy. He can do a choke slam. If they give him the right, because he's doing black hole slam and stuff, right? If they give him the right moves, they could make him look like a real monster in there.
That's exactly it.
It's going to need the other guys to pump for it.
I'm pretty sure he'll be all right.
Okay.
Can't really put him on a big stage like that and he can stink out the joint kind of thing. I think he's put a lot of effort in, so I'm waiting.
He was down at NXT. I think I saw a video of him sat in the audience watching NXT.
Yeah. And he's been at the Performance Center and everything. So I think he's probably.
I mean, I'm not thinking that we should expect a Bad Bunny.
No.
Level of what the hell is that? But I have some hope.
Well, actually, when you think about it, Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, these are all celebrity people that came in. And we're actually who's that?
Stephen Amell. Yeah.
Stephen Amell, yeah.
Must have, I think, with Cody, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, even Snooki.
I never watched that match.
No?
I missed it. I didn't ever actually see that, when that happened. But
I was actually there live.
Were you?
Yeah.
Was that no Mania?
I was WrestleMania 27.
Oh wow!
Wow, that's amazing.
The front row as well, actually. So,
oh, that's amazing.
Really good.
Wow.
The worst WrestleMania ever that everyone always says, but one of my favorite because I was there. So
was that one of the Rock Cenas?
Yeah, it was Cena versus Miz with The Rock coming out to cost.
Oh, so it was just.
Oh wait, no, I would have seen that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely would have seen. I cannot remember the Snooki match.
Did they do Edge Del Rio? Was that the opener?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I'm an Edge guy, so that was a highlight for me.
Yeah. Right. Let's come on to rattle through these a few more. Gunther versus Punk. I think Gunther's winning.
No.
No.
My little thing on that.
I wonder if you're about to say what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Seth. This is a big.
Oh, of course.
Seth.
Yeah.
Cash in on Punk.
Yeah.
There's the Seth spectre is looming over everything, isn't it? I'm guessing the three of us are in agreement that his injuries are work.
Yeah.
There's been so much speculation over it. It feels like they need to really clarify. No, he's really injured, and they haven't. So
right, and the only thing they've ever said, they've never at any point, which is I think unheard of by this length of time since it happened, said this is what the problem is. They've just been like, he's going to get some scans or something like.
Yeah.
So my big question is which match does he cash in on? Is he going to cash in on?
Remember, he already says as long as he lives, CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's not cashing in on Cena or Cody. He can't do that. That would just seem so. Like, what happens with Cena now? Like Cody could win, but if Cody wins, then Cena still has to be factored into the picture. But if Seth took it from him, I just don't know where they'd go from there with everything to do with Cena. I think it's good. Okay, so here's the question: do you think Punk wins and then Seth takes it, or do you think Seth cashes in on Gunther?
I think,
or adds himself to the match
just before Cena, just before Punk wins. Seth interrupts, distracts him, probably even make it a three-way so that Punk does not win that title.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm kind of torn. I don't know. I think they could twist it that Punk does win it and then is cashed in on, and then Rollins' whole thing can be like, I actually think that's crueler. I let you sniff it. I let you hold it for 5 minutes, and I hope you enjoyed it because that's all you're going to have.
It's kind of like the reverse of what happened with Drew when Drew won.
Yeah. And then, we're heading into probably the time of year where they're going to want to do a cell match, and Rollins and Punk have been at each other's throats enough that would kind of be a good one for that.
Okay, last up for night one. Let's power through here, guys. We have Jade and Tiffany. Is it going to be Tiffy time, or is Jade going to? So, like, my prediction going back a while ago was that this was going to play in with Naomi,
right,
with the Money in the Bank, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah. So sorry, David, carry on.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that with the match we were just talking about with Punk and Gunther, there's a real sense of jeopardy, and what is the Seth situation going to be? Is there going to be one? For the longest time, we kind of had that with Jade and Tiff, and now we don't. So suddenly it's this match on the card that for me feels a bit empty, feels a bit lacking in any kind of heat. There's been no build, and I literally can't call it. I kind of think they're going to go with Jade, which I have mixed feelings about because I haven't really seen. She's a star, like character-wise, but as another one of those in the ring, there seems to be too many.
Do you know what? But isn't that just both of them?
Yes,
yeah, I agree. Well, I think Tiffy's starting to look really miscast as this babyface. Every time she's
it's because she hasn't changed her character at all.
She has this heel face.
No, I actually saw her talking about that, and she was like, "I'm getting cheered already, so I changed the character." So,
right,
which is fair point.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
On a slightly related but side note, if I can, have you guys seen the video of Tiffany walking through the airport? Because there's been these airport videos doing the rounds recently, which is more like douchebag behavior of people hounding wrestlers at airports with like loads of stuff to sign, and these people are getting off like long ass flights. So Tiffany came out in an airport surrounded by Solo and the MFTs, who were basically bodyguarding her through the airport. And it was just like, you're not going to be hassling Tiffany for an autograph now, are you?
No.
I just thought that was fun.
Crazy.
But yeah, the match, I hate to say it, but I couldn't really care less.
I don't mind whoever wins, to be honest. And like the thing is, like, if Tiffany wins, where do we go? Who's next? And where? If Jade wins, where do we go? What's next?
The division on Raw is so stacked,
Yeah.
and the division on SmackDown, especially since Naomi jumped over, seems really thin on the ground.
Exactly. I mean, there'll be more if Jade wins, maybe, because there's new.
Yeah, I was going to say you have like fresh opportunities there. Like I think Tiffy time has got a little bit stale. Like, see, because she came from that NIL like next in line program and stuff like this, and obviously Jade had her winning streak in I was about to say TNA in AEW, but both of them kind of like have been given the very early push in as like champions.
Right.
And this match might be a little bit the blind leading the blind in that, like, you know, if they get into trouble, who takes lead really. I'd like to see Jade win just to mix it up, because I was kind of, I didn't want Charlotte to win at Mania, but I was kind of already a bit done on Tiffy time, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say Jade to win it. Let's come quickly on to night 2, because we got about 10 minutes before I'm going to have to bounce, guys. So we have the Wyatt Six versus DIY versus Fraxium versus Machine Guns versus the Street Profits versus Andrade and Ray Fenix. So 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match. It's going to open the show blatantly.
Yeah.
It feels like a make good for them after they didn't get on Mania.
Yeah.
Like, and then they did
Ray did
down in the TLC.
Yeah,
Ray did, I guess, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I don't know. Like, so I think the Wyatt Six are going to win this simply because, well, yeah, didn't they just announce that they've got like some Netflix special or something like this?
Oh yeah, true.
Like, what was that? I vaguely remember, or some.
I didn't actually read into it too much.
A special about Wyatt.
Yeah,
like
really,
like a Halloween thing. Wyatt Six. So it's like, okay, so they're not getting rid of them anytime soon, and they're going to push it until it perhaps works.
Halloween, yeah.
It's the right time. I can't see it, but there is something that's going on with the Wyatt Six that they announced something or other. So it feels like they're going to be pushed for that reason and that reason alone.
Like, who actually likes the Wyatt Six though?
I don't. You know, I never did. I liked it when we first had them as a thing, and it had Bo as Bo.
Yeah.
And that promo was serious.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And then when they just started attacking Chad Gable, I was just like,
it's now they're spooky guys again.
Yeah, they're just like egg and hammers, basically.
And I loved Bray Wyatt. I was a massive Bray Wyatt fan. So when they started, there was real emotion to it. It was really touching, especially with it being Bo being front and center. But you remember like a few months ago when I talked about like Cena and made some karaoke comparison? Like, I would say that with the Wyatt Six, but it's just really, really sad karaoke. That's just like, oh, he was so good, and now this is just not it.
See, I always thought, like, you know, with absolutely no like disrespect to Bray, I always said like the cinematic stuff, like I hated it. Like I genuinely hated it. The character, like the mask, the Fiend and everything, you know, it was. Do you remember like there was that moment where Undertaker like whispered something, which we'll never find out what it was now.
Yeah.
Taker, I don't think is going to reveal, and obviously Bray's not with us.
Apparently,
it did
come out.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe there was something.
You anytime you need.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, something to do
but that was like a passing of the torch because there isn't another Undertaker. No. But the closest we've ever got to it character-wise was Bray Wyatt, especially when he became the Fiend and with this persona and everything. Mm-hmm. And Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, it's like the Wyatt Six. It's not even. Is Bo like even their manager? Why isn't he going after a title? Why
aren't they using Eric Rowan, like who's the best worker of the bunch? Like,
yeah, look. So
I didn't know if to take that seriously or not.
Right, in terms of look, the best worker in the Wyatt family was Nicky. No, right? No, like of the whole Wyatt family.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So. It was Brody.
Yeah.
I thought he was the best in the ring, best wrestler, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the connection to the old Wyatt family, you know, you've still got Rowan there. He is the one that carries through because obviously that they didn't continue with Braun as part of this anyway.
No.
Emotionally, though, obviously Bo Dallas is his actual brother.
Right.
And it feels like they should be the tag team champions. They should. Exactly. That should be where the focus is. True. But instead, we've got Dexter Lumis, who his previous gimmick was a serial killer. Now he's got like the fake dreadlocks or whatever, and he never got any better. But anyway, I still think the Wyatts could do it. I still think they could salvage the Wyatt stuff if they do something with Bo Dallas. But I don't know. It might just be unless they push them. You can't have the Ministry of Darkness be like an opening match thing. You need to have like the Undertaker be the main event. And if you're going to have an Undertaker character and they've got powers and all this, it needs to be bigger than just going after jobbers. Right, let's move on. 5 matches to go, guys. We can do it. Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title.
Dom wins. They run it back in Paris because AJ's a mega star in Paris.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. That was insane. That pay-per-view like a year ago. Yeah. Okay. Good. Oh wow, that one was.
We did one in 30 seconds then.
Yeah. Okay. Solo Jacob again. Steel cage match though. Steel cage match. I hope they go in there with something to prove. I hope they make this a banger of a match. Basically.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Yeah. Are we gonna get like any? Is this where Tama Tonga returns? Because every time there's a Bloodline pay-per-view, it feels like you need to have someone show up.
Yeah.
You know, if they'd like held off on Tama Tonga until here, they could have literally called back to the Big Show's debut and have him come up through the ring and just launch Jacob out of the cage.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that like Show did with Austin. But
yeah.
That would have been fun.
Okay, I'm saying I think Solo has to keep it here because he has had it.
Solo has to.
Yeah.
Jacob needs to kind of move on now, like
move
on because I'm starting to feel like the MFTs they are where they are. I think they're a really good upper mid card kind of stable. They know what they are now. They're not trying to be the Bloodline. And I think Jacob has to sort of move on and upwards, hopefully.
I think they just need to have it so the Bloodline, for like the last year, it's been Bloodline members versus Bloodline members.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to just get them into some other feuds, mix stuff up, split them off, because if you are going to bring any of them back together, you have to split. Well, it's like they did with the original Bloodline.
Yeah.
You have to bring them away from each other before you can't miss them until they go away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Becky and Lyra. No disqualification, no count out. Last chance match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
That I felt so bad for her on Raw, Lyra.
The promo they gave her, man, was just like she got it, but she got it by the end. But what was that start? These are my Becky stomping shoes. Like, that's so good. That's up there with
that meme is going to live forever, though. The little dance and the twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, really like Lyra Valkyria. I think I've been pretty vocal about that, but I kind of hope Bailey attacks her backstage. Lyra can't fight, so they call back to Mania when Bailey was found backstage, and have Bailey come in and maybe even win the thing.
Yeah,
I think that would be an interesting move and a make good to Bailey for taking a Mania match from her.
Yeah, like there's been stuff this week saying that it's like the first time she's missed Mania and SummerSlam in a year, kind of thing. Or at least because she was injured a few years ago, so I'm sure she missed it then. But I don't know. I think Becky's going to win because as long as Lynch is champion, so that's a meaningless stipulation because as soon as she loses it again, then Lyra can beat whoever. Okay, next up, Naomi, Rhea, Io.
Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi has to win.
I think Naomi. She's doing her best work. The backstage promo she did on Raw. I don't like the cackling, frankly, but everything else she did in that promo, I thought was like.
I did think great. I would like the cackling. I actually enjoyed the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
everything else she's saying, I'm really buying. Yeah. I think she's really leaning into the kind of unhinged. There's something about that laugh.
I'd agree. She's doing her best work. Like like when she was in TNA, like over the last couple of years before she came back, like she really developed a lot more. And when they brought her back, like she was kind of like lost in the mix a little bit, but they finally gone forward with her. So yeah, she's only just got it. She needs to retain. Go on.
And again, going back to that same point with Charlotte, she's having fun, and it's
fun
too. So
yeah.
This match has a high bar to clear though with the recent offerings, especially like the triple threat of Mania that Rhea and Io and Bianca had, and then Rhea and Io at Evolution was insane. So it's got.
And we're only a few weeks since Evolution when she won it. So.
I think they have to keep it on her for the time being.
Yeah. And so lastly, that brings us Cena, Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship.
This, I think, Cody's heel turn.
Okay. I don't know. Like, okay, so it could be Cody's heel's turn. Or are we going to get like a surprise? Like, is The Rock going to turn up? Is Travis Scott going to turn up? Is something else going to happen to add into this?
We do not need Travis Scott. He'll turn up at Survivor Series trying to make it for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Well, with it being a street fight, like obviously opens the doors to all sorts of shenanigans, which frankly Cena needs at this point because he's just not up to carrying a main event in the ring. I think Cody wins it here, and I think this is where Cena starts. If he doesn't turn, there's not something about Cena having this realization that they've kind of been teasing quite a heavy-handed way of him going, "Oh, should I hit R-Truth?" Or I think he turns because they've got to do the end of his retirement run as a babyface. Like,
what if he retains but turns? So it's a lead up. Like, so someone gets involved to cost Cody, but Cena retains because of it, but he doesn't accept it. And he's just like,
I mean, it could be. Like, okay, so it's not going to be The Rock, but say The Rock showed up.
Yeah.
You could easily have it so that he's going to, like, start beating on Cody, and then The Rock... then Cena stops The Rock and they get into a brawl, and then you build up to you're going to have Rock Cena number 3, basically,
or something like that. Yeah,
something like that. I've said for a long time actually that the person that beats Cena for the belt should be The Rock, so then Cody can come back round versus The Rock at Mania,
or Rock versus Roman.
Well, that's a match that they should have done by now.
That's been years.
Those two, Rock Roman and Rock Cody.
Yeah,
like they've got to do it at some point. And
I am much more invested in Rock Cody than Rock Roman because there's an actual storyline other than we're cousins and like Dylan, you son of a bitch. You know, the whole Predator handshake moment. Right. Okay, guys. So we're going to wrap things up here. The only other thing I saw that was interesting that I'll just touch on I'll quickly refresh it. Hopefully there's nothing as dramatic as what we often get, especially after this last week in terms of breaking news. But there was a whole thing that's come out like today where Cody is saying that he was disrespected in AEW, but he didn't give enough details because he did say of this thing that me and Kenny and the Bucks built. So it doesn't sound like he had an issue and felt disrespected by them. So either it's people on the roster or it's Tony.
I was going to say Tony Khan, isn't it?
Yeah. And he said the way he's going to get his revenge is by success, which obviously he has done.
Yeah, I think I read some chat as well. I don't know how true it was, but people guessing that maybe it was something to do with because they tried to get Brandy on telly in AEW, which failed pretty spectacularly, didn't he? Getting her as an on-screen character, so maybe there was something there. I don't know, but yeah, I think in years to come we'll get sort of several sides to the story. But
yeah. Oh, hang on 1 second, guys. Right, before we wrap it up, I really am going to wrap it up. So I don't know if you guys already saw this. It's from Dynamite last night, the worst concerto of all time.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, let me quickly find it. Right, okay, so where is it? So there it is. The worst concerto.
This is where it's
time. I'm probably going to get dinged for copyright. Just this
big lesson of camera angle.
Oh, that didn't show the angle. That didn't show the angle.
That one's not bad.
Like a fan
angle. Yeah.
But oh my god,
everything with that.
Absolute worst concerto I have ever seen. Absolutely missed him. Right, guys, let's wrap things there. I can't see any other big breaking news. So, where can we find you, Gav?
You can find me here next week, brother.
There you go. Do you know what, Gav? Like, you usually say this to the fans of like this, you know, like, how you doing? Like, you know. So there we go. Ian,
I'm gonna do a Jey Uso and say it was so good this week. The next week we'll. I'll see you here next week.
Right. Okay. I don't have a thing. So too sweet, guys. There we go. Hey. Right now. Until next time, guys. Stay safe. Smash the subscribe button. Always stay extremed. And ciao for now. And boom, we're off the air.
Adios.